it's me, Gemma, and one of the first things I ever baked when I first started baking were scones, and they were really gross and they came out really, really badly, but I kept doing them and kept taking advice and eventually got a job which involved making them every day for about a year. So I am 100% sure that the recipe I'm about to show you works and you're going to love them. So I have 500 grams of plain flour and I'm just going to pop that through a sieve. And to that I'm going to add 2 rounded teaspoons of baking powder. And that does seem like quite a lot, but trust me, you're going to need baking powder in this. And then 2 heaped tablespoons of caster sugar in as well. And 1 teaspoon of salt. So just shuffle that through your sieve. And then once that's all sieved together, just put it into a food processor. So that's all your dry ingredients, and then to that you just need to add 110 grams of chopped cold unsalted butter. And then with your food processor, just process that until it's like a fine breadcrumb, so no big lumps of butter. You can do this by hand, just make sure you have cold hands, if you don't have one of these, cold hands, and just rub like this, but not with the lid on. So here we go. Right, I reckon that's good. There's no big lumps of butter in there and it's gone really nice and fine and sort of like a fine, soft breadcrumb. So once that's done, just grab one of your bowls back and dump all of that lovely crummy stuff in there. Right, so now you need to make a little well in the middle and then pour 300 millilitres of milk just right into the middle of that hole. And then using a fork, just bring all that mixture together. And once it's come together, but not quite combined, get rid of your fork and get your hands in there. Gather those sort of blobby bits up and just kind of bring them together with your hands. Okay, so that's ready. I'm just gonna clear the decks and then we're gonna get rolling. I've got some plain flour here. I'm just going to dust my table really generously and just rub a little bit on the rolling pin for good measure. And then just dump your dough right in the middle there. Ooh, there he is. Get that on. So just bring it together. Just be nice and combined, and then just give it a little sprinkle on top as well, just so it doesn't stick. And then I'm not trying to roll this out super thin or anything. I just want to do about 3 centimetres thick, so really gently with your rolling pin. That'll probably do. I hardly rolled it at all. And I've got here a nice fluted cutter. You can use plain cutters, you can use any cutter you like. But this is about 2 inches wide, about 5 centimetres in diameter. I'm just gonna get some of that flour on it so it doesn't stick and just chomp away. Come on. And just put that onto a baking tray that's been lined with paper. Right, so they're all on my tray. It doesn't matter if they bake and stick together, that's almost better actually, because then you can pull them apart. But there's just one more thing I need to do, and that is give them all a lovely glossy coat. And I do that, I've just whipped up a bit of egg here, just 1 egg, whisked it up, and I'm just gonna brush the tops of them. And I've got quite a bit of dough left over, and you could re-roll that, but just beware that if you squish that all together and re-roll it and stamp it out, the scones you get are going to be a little bit tough, so do what you like. Whee! So that's how you make scones, and I am now surrounded by scones, which is basically the best thing ever. And you can be really simple and just do them like that, or like with these guys, you could maybe fold some raspberries through them, which I did, so you can see all the lovely raspberries in there. Smells really nice. Or just keep it really simple. And there's a few ways you can enjoy eating your scones. You can just have them with butter, but the best way of eating them is to have them with clotted cream and jam. There's a few arguments going on between Devon and Cornwall, whether to put the jam on first or the cream. But I don't really care as long as it's going in my mouth, so I'm just gonna cut my scone. Ooh. And I'm going with Cornwall on this one, and I'm gonna put my jam in first, so nice little blob of jam. And then top that with a nice bit of clotted cream. Oh, yum. So here we go. They're really soft and fluffy, but not like a sponge cake, which is really delicious and rich. And if you like that recipe and you want to see more recipes, then do subscribe to my channel by clicking on the link up there. There's loads of recipes already there, and there's one new one every week. And if you want to suggest something for me to make, then do so at cupcakejemma.com. There's a special little form for you to fill in. And until then, I'm going to just work my way through all these scones. It might take me a little while, but I reckon I can do it.